Hello and welcome back, and in this video we're going to be talking about spacing in HStack. So spacing between all child views can be changed with the help of spacing parameter, which HStack takes as an initializer value. Okay, and one of the other thing that's about spacing is it is an animatable property. That means you can actually animate the spacing that you're adding. Let's go ahead and take a look at the example. So I'm going to copy our previous example, example number 3, and let's put it in example 4. So I'm going to rename that. And let's go ahead and also flatten our structure so we don't need all these extra nesting since we are less than 10 elements. So I'm going to leave it like this. And what we're going to get is basically the previous example as is. Now, in order to add spacing, we can simply specify this while initializing our HStack. I'm going to say it's going to be spacing of about 30 points, and it's going to basically add 30 points between each character in this case, but it's basically adding 30 points between each subview or the child view. Okay, creating an even space between all of them. Okay, so that's how you can actually add the spacing between child elements. Now you can animate this. So let's go ahead and create another copy. Okay, and this one we're gonna animate. So we're gonna give it example 5. Okay, and we're gonna create a state property which is going to hold the spacing value. Okay, and we're going to start with spacing 1. Okay, and 1.0, and this is going to be a CG float value. Now instead of specifying a hard-coded value for spacing, we're going to say we want to use the newly created variable that we have. And as you can see, our view has basically updated. It's been updated to reflect that the spacing between the elements is 1 point. Okay, now next thing that we want to do is we want to add a task modifier. Okay, and this is where we're gonna run our code, and we're gonna say spacing is equal to spacing. If the value is equal to 1, then let's assign it 20. Otherwise, let's assign it 1. Okay, or like, we can say 30. All right, so what it's gonna do is basically it's gonna add 30 point or 1 point depending upon where the spacing is, and we're gonna basically animate between these two values with animation parameter or animation modifier using spring animation. So let's go ahead and use spring animation. Let's give it a damping fraction of 0.2, and I also want to make it go repeat forever. Okay, and we want to basically, the value that we want to observe is going to be spacing. Okay, so notice the change that we are actually seeing. All right, this is looking a little bit odd because of the damping fraction. Each character has its own damping fraction. So let me go ahead and change this animation type to ease in and out, which is gonna make it look a little bit more structured. Now let's go ahead and see. Okay, so I want to find out why the value D is not animating. Okay, so let's reduce this to 20. Okay, and let's go ahead and slow down the animation. So we're gonna say duration for the animation is gonna be over 2 seconds. Okay, all right, so that's actually looking much better than what we had before. But as you can see now, our views are basically expanding and collapsing, and this is just because we are actually using the spacing modifier. Now, don't you think the animation is fun in SwiftUI? It's amazing, and I can't believe like how easy it is to animate things in here. Okay, with that, we have reached the end of this video. In the next video, let's go ahead and talk about the alignment property of HStack. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.